Tank never wanted to be a world champion. He wanted to be a pay-per-view star. So everybody don't know that. And that's what's so brilliant about Tank. I've been around Tank for so long, I listened to him, you know. And, same way like he listened to me and turned into me, I listened to him. Because you can't play with boxing. It's a hurt sport. Most humans don't want to be hurt. But each one of us have that drive of that aggressive that we want to let it out sometimes. And that's the energy. He feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can be in the moment and you don't know you're in the moment. Just seeing all this stuff unfold. It's a lot of stuff that people don't know behind the scenes that, we've been keeping notes on it right now, just to see this whole thing unfold.
While most fighters talk about pressure, Gervonta Tank Davis has built his career around patience. And that's exactly why the possibility of a showdown with Shakur Stevenson feels so fascinating.
I read where you said, boxing helped save my life. What do you mean by that?
5 of the fighters that I started with, all of them did.
All of them succumbed to the street violence?
Yeah, all of them got killed in the streets.
And you believe boxing is what saved you?
Yeah, boxing definitely saved my life. I could have been, I was younger than them, so I remember my coach, Coach Kenny, jacking up a fighter, like, you gotta stay out the streets. And probably like a year later, he got killed, so it definitely saved my life.
I was angry a lot as a kid. I was taken away from my family. I couldn't see my mother. When I came to the gym, I felt the love that I needed as a child, and I just stuck with it.
Both of my parents was on drugs. They were both on drugs, and my mother left me and my brother in the house by herself, so they took us into custody, We were the new kids on the block. I was fighting a lot, fighting in school, fighting on the block, so.
We pushing each other. He's very competitive, I'm very competitive. Everybody's trying to be first,
Tank was about 7 years old when he first came to the gym. Tank was always here at the gym with us. Every time I come in, he was here. Every time it was time to leave, he was here. That's what made him so special.
I always said he was one of those fighters that come through every 25 years, like a prime Duran, Hagler, or Aaron Pryor. They don't just touch you with their punches. They try to go through.
This isn't the kind of fight where Tank can simply walk forward, looking for one explosive moment. This is a battle that could demand every ounce of the discipline, composure, and ring intelligence that have made him one of boxing's most dangerous stars.
I done beat a lot of stuff. No matter what they try to take away from me, I beat it. I beat it.
Boom! Right.
And I'm still trying to, push forward. When people say legacy, I feel like you gotta picture where I came from. I already done enough. I don't want to say be cocky, because I want people to understand where I come from. I'm already a legend. I'm already a legend. It's a lot more ahead of me, but I came a long way. You gotta salute me. Even if you don't like me, you got to.
Ask anyone who performs, who mesmerizes, who stares down skeptics, doubters, and social media hatred, and they will admit, the honest ones at least, to a pressure that they alone can see.
I can't wait till he get where he want to go at, because it's something in his mind that he's determined to get where he want to get at.
People watch me come through the city, they watch the process, so they really understand me more than they can understand anybody else that they watched. I think it was meant for me. Once I got into it, I think it was meant for me, because it was just something that I always wanted to do. Yeah. It's something that I always wanted. You could do anything. Don't take boxing away from me. That's how I was growing up. You can do everything. Majority of the time, I was punished. my childhood life. That's all I did was box.
Yeah.
That's all I did. You take boxing away from me, say I couldn't go to the gym, I'm losing it.
What separates Davis from so many fighters isn't just his power. It's his willingness to stay calm when everybody else is panicking. We've seen him give away rounds, absorb criticism from commentators, and listen to fans scream that he's losing, only to remain completely unfazed because he's playing a different game. Tank studies, he calculates, he waits. Every movement, every reaction, and every mistake his opponent makes gets stored away until the perfect moment arrives.
See some speed. He's like, yo, where the coming from? They're coming from different angles I ain't never seen.
Some fighters they good at what they do. Like they master at what they do, but they not complete fighters. Some of them have speed, some of them have just power, some of them just have footwork, but they don't have the whole thing. I believe I have the whole package. I mean, that's what makes me a good boxer. A great boxer, I say.
Against Shakur Stevenson, the mindset becomes more important than ever. Shakur is widely regarded as one of the smartest defensive fighters in boxing, a master of distance, timing, and positioning. That means Tank can't afford to chase the fight emotionally. He has to trust the process that got him here in the first place. The same patience that helped him break down elite opponents could be the key to solving one of the toughest puzzles in the sport.
There you go. 1 hour.
What makes this matchup so compelling is that neither fighter is likely to give the other easy opportunities. Every feint matters, every adjustment matters, every second matters. And if there's one thing Tank has proven throughout his career, it's that he never stops looking for answers. While the boxing world debates scorecards, statistics, and styles, Davis will likely be doing what he always does, watching, learning, and waiting for that one opening capable of changing everything in an instant. That's the mentality of a fighter who believes the fight is never over until he decides it is. And that's where the entire Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson conversation takes a sharp turn. Because while we've been talking about Tank's patience, composure, and ability to find answers in the middle of a fight, Max Kellerman is asking a completely different question. What exactly has Tank proven compared to the fighters people keep putting him beside? That's a dangerous conversation, because once Max started bringing up names like Crawford, Usyk, Inoue, and Shakur, the debate stopped being about talent and started being about evidence.
That's what Shakur and Tank has that's different than, for a lot of people, I like Shakur in that fight, but that's different than Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
We've seen them beat.
But that's kind of like Canelo Triple G, where the rematch was so highly anticipated. You know, the first fight was a draw. There was the controversy. I think we are underselling collectively here how much people care about how the controversy.
I mean, one guy got 10 minutes.
That's a good point.
Excellent.
But can we say this though? The Tank and Shakur is only a dream, right? That you can just sell. Because the truth is, Tank won't take them type of fights unless he needs to, because he fights for money.
And honestly, I understand both sides. Tank passes the eye test better than almost anybody in boxing. The power is real. The timing is real. The traps are real. You don't accidentally create the kind of knockouts he's created. But Max keeps coming back to the same uncomfortable point. At some stage, greatness has to be measured against other great fighters, not just highlight reels. That's why I found the Shakur discussion so interesting. Mike Coppinger believes the fight is closer to reality than ever, while Max basically argues that this was supposed to be the defining showdown years ago. The funny thing is, both might be right. Shakur kept climbing, Tank stayed a massive attraction, and somehow the fight became even bigger while also becoming more complicated.
A lot of Tank that was the interest in Tank was generated because you know what you see. You know he's a special talent. But the fact is, his resume was highly, let's say, curated.
Come on.
He fought smaller guys who couldn't punch.
Santa Cruz.
Right, exactly.
And knocked them cold out.
Right, knocked them out. The way he did it.
Don't matter.
That don't matter.
And knocked them cold out.
Then Shady jumps in and says what a lot of fans have been thinking for months. If Tank and Shakur actually fight tomorrow, that's the matchup people are rushing to watch first. Not because of controversy, not because of social media drama, because nobody knows what happens when those two elite skill sets collide. At the same time, Max wasn't done throwing punches at the resume debate either. He practically challenged Tank to prove he's more than boxing's biggest attraction and become the man in the division. That's why the Floyd Schofield discussion matters too. If Tank comes back and starts taking on young, hungry contenders and eventually steps in with Shakur Stevenson, all these arguments disappear overnight. Until then, the debate stays alive. Tank has the talent, Shakur has the momentum, and boxing fans are still waiting for the night when opinions finally have to answer to reality.
Tank Davis is the champion of that division. He's been the champion of a sanctioning body, which is not nothing, but it means that you've done something. You're probably a top 10 fighter in that weight class, probably, usually, almost always, but it doesn't mean you've been the champ. At a certain point, it would be a shame if a dude as talented as Tank never even tests himself to see if he could actually be the champion.
Yeah.
And that's where Greg Hackett takes the conversation in a direction I wasn't expecting. Because while Max Kellerman was questioning Tank Davis's resume and debating whether he still needs that defining fight against Shakur Stevenson, Greg is focused on something much less predictable. Tank himself. Not his skills, not his accomplishments, his mindset. And honestly, that's a fascinating angle because if you've watched Tank long enough, you know there are nights where he looks like one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet, and nights where he's almost too relaxed for his own good. Greg basically says the biggest opponent in a Kid Austin fight might not even be Kid Austin. It might be Tank's level of engagement. That's a bold take, but I understand what he's getting at. Some fighters are machines. Same pace, same intensity, same urgency every time. Tank has always felt different. When he's fully locked in, he looks like a guy capable of ending a fight with one mistake. When he's not completely invested, rounds can drift by and suddenly people start asking questions.
Tank is the old vet now. Not old like old, but vet. I've been doing this for him. You know what I'm saying? Tank, when he fight, I think a lot of it is based off of his mood. His mood. If he really into it, he could look really talented that night. If he's not interested, 100%, he could look dull. He could look normal. People don't like that, but that's really the truth. Tank mentally not there. He not going to put on his best show. It could be that type of night, or it could be, I'm 100% on.
That's why Greg's comments about Floyd Kid Austin Schofield caught my attention. He isn't presenting Schofield as the favorite. He isn't even predicting an upset. What he's saying is something much more dangerous. Young fighters don't always know what they aren't supposed to do. Sometimes they walk into situations without fear, without hesitation, and without overthinking. That's where surprises come from in boxing. I actually laughed when Greg described that young energy, because every veteran eventually runs into it. The experienced fighter sees a chess match. The young fighter sees an opportunity. And sometimes those are two very different things. At the same time, Greg still leans toward Tank because experience matters, timing matters, and Tank has spent years solving problems under the brightest lights in the sport. But what makes this fight interesting isn't who has the bigger name. It's whether Kid Austin can force Tank into one of those nights where he has to remind everyone exactly why people once talked about him as the most dangerous man in the division. That's why, whether it's Shakur, Schofield, or anybody else, the real question remains the same. Which version of Tank Davis shows up?
Because Tank is the more experienced fighter, and he's dangerous. And Schofield really, he's been hit, but not like that. You know what I mean?
Do you think we definitely get that next?
It's possible. I mean, it's boxing. It can happen. And it's not the fight we want, but it's the fight that's gonna have you talking too. Cause Young Bull gonna make Tank throw. He gonna make Tank fire. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see what Tank brings to the table. That type of situation.
And that's where Calvin Ford's comments add a completely different layer to the conversation. Because while Greg Hackett was talking about Tank Davis as a fighter who can look unstoppable one night and mysterious the next, Calvin sounds like a man who already knows something the rest of us don't. Notice how careful he is every time Tank's future gets brought up. No promises, no dates, no dramatic announcements, just that classic Calvin Ford energy. When the phone rings and everything is lined up, it's a wrap. That's not the answer fans want, but honestly, it tells you plenty. What really caught my attention, though, was how relaxed he sounded about potential opponents. Whether it was Kid Austin, Shakur Stevenson, or anybody else, Calvin never once treated any of them like some impossible mountain to climb. In fact, when he talked about Shakur, it almost felt like he was giving respect without giving away concern. That's a subtle difference that boxing fans usually miss. Respect and fear are not the same thing.
This potential return for Gervonta, can you let us know a little bit about any news?
How would I sit there and say, when he make the phone call, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That's all we are doing, just wait until we finish dealing with certain circumstances. And then after that's out the way, we keep everything behind and just look forward to the future.
When's the last time you've heard from him? How is he doing?
Oh, he's doing great. You know, he's doing great. His mental's great. Kids great. He just, I would say, living life, going through what fight. As we sit here and listen to JoJo's story, you know, everybody go through something. But that's what's going to make them who they're going to be in the future.
Calvin clearly respects Shakur's skills, but he's still waiting to see somebody push Shakur into territory we haven't seen yet. And that's a fascinating point because people talk about Shakur like he's already solved every puzzle in boxing. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. That's why the fights matter. I actually laughed when Calvin kept refusing to reveal who they're looking at next because that's the most trainer thing ever. Fans want spoilers, trainers want advantages. Meanwhile, his comments on Boots Ennis were just as interesting. Calvin wasn't talking about statistics or rankings, he was talking about energy. He was talking about a fighter who finally looks excited by the challenge in front of him. That's the kind of observation that doesn't show up on a box score. And whether we're talking about Tank's return, Boots chasing titles at 154, or the possibility of future mega fights, the theme stays the same. Boxing is entering one of those moments where potential is about to collide with reality. The talking is almost finished. The questions are already on the table. Now the fighters have to provide the answers, and that's where we'll leave it.
This Schofield fighter we've heard a little bit about, is there truth to that? Is that a potential opponent?
Right now, it's going back and forth and back. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, once we see the contract, then we know it's a wrap. It's just talking right now.
What do you think of that potential matchup, though, for Gervonta?
All fights are good fights, especially when a kid or anyone come prepared to fight. So you have to just wait and see.
Do you think it might be a little bit early for him? I know.
No, like I said, let's say when you look at the situation with Canelo fought Floyd, everybody thought that was early. But look at his career.
Tank, Shakur, Boots, Xander, everybody has something to prove, and the next few months could change everything. The talk is over. Now it's time for the fighters to answer the questions inside the ring. Let me know in the comments, who wins Tank versus Shakur? Does Tank still need a signature victory? And can Boots Ennis become the face of boxing? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters, and I'll see you in the next one.